Learn how to run your application in the Windows container on Azure App Service in this episode of Azure Tips and Tricks. Sometimes you have a web application that runs on the full .NET framework and has dependencies to things like a library in the Windows Global Assembly cache. You can run an application like that in a Windows container in an Azure App Service web app. Let's take a look at how that works. Here in Visual Studio, I have an ASP.NET Forms application that runs on the .NET Framework 4.7. Let's containerize it. I can do that by right-clicking the project file and click Add Docker Support. This adds a Docker file that describes the container image that the app will run in. To make this work on your local PC, you need to install Docker Desktop. You can download it from this address. Also, you need to set Docker Desktop to run Windows containers instead of Linux containers. Now I need to publish this image to a container registry. You can use all sorts of registries and I'll put it in a new Azure Container Registry. First, I'll select a resource group for the registry and give it a name. This is also used in the URL for the registry. And I also want to change the location to West Europe. Alright, let's create it. This creates the container registry and uploads the container image with the application to it. This can take a while, so I'll skip to when it's done. Alright, now that we have a container image in the registry, we can use it to run the app in Azure. Here in the Azure portal, I'm going to create a new App Service web app. So in here, I'll first create a new resource group for the web app. You can also use an existing one. And I'll give the web app a name, like this. Alright. Next, I'll switch this to Docker image, as that is what will run. And it is a Windows container. Okay, I think that's it. Next, I need to tell it where to get the container image from. That is from here, the Azure Container Registry. Okay, this looks good. Let's review and create. And let's create it. Alright, I'll skip to when it's done. This is the web app that we've just created, and I know that it is still starting up the container right now. You can see what is happening by looking at the container settings here. Here in the logs, you can see that it downloads the container image and extracts it to start it. If any errors happen, you can see them here as well. Alright, let's go back to the overview. And this is the URL of the web app. Let's take a look. Ah, it is still starting up. The container needs to start up. This can take several minutes to work when you start the web app for the first time. So I'll skip ahead and try again. And here it is, the application running in Azure, in a Windows container. Windows containers that run in an App Service web app provide you with the benefits of Azure, like scaling and deployment slots, while still giving you a lot of control over your environment. Go and check it out.